So, Stephanie, why do saloons have these short half doors?
I have no idea.
She has no idea.
Take one. Is that how that works?
Call me crazy, but there really is something so exciting about standing out in a hotel parking lot at the crack of dawn with good friends and surrounded by a bunch of Jeeps, or in this case, a Bronco too. Of course, it typically means that we're about to head out on an epic off-road adventure, and really, what's not to be excited about that?
I think we're ready. From here, we're literally just gonna go across the highway and hit dirt right away. All right, come on, let's get loaded up and we're gonna head out. I think you're gonna be driving, so. Changing of the guards. Radio check. 10-4, ready to roll. So it's been a while since we've done one of these, WAYALIFE Whiskey Wanderlust, and here we are back out on dirt, looking forward to a great day.
And I should note, of all the trips that Cindy and I do on a somewhat regular basis, this is by far our favorite. Thanks to years of neglect and maybe more recently, big storms that rolled through the area, a lot of the trails out here have become significantly rutted out, and to the point where it can be helpful to have something like a Jeep to traverse them. But if you can believe it, this particular route was once graded smooth enough to allow for massive steam-powered machines known as traction engines to haul borax and other precious minerals across the Mojave Desert.
Having a good time? How do you know when you're on the right trail? It's when you come across historic trash just like this. These old tins, you could see there wasn't even a can opener to open up these guys, and you would never have a lead solder on the base of them today. See, this one has a key. It's like a sardine can or something. Oh, look, this one even has a key on the side of it. They didn't even use it. And of course, your daily dose of lead. Anything that's over 50 years old, you're not allowed to take anymore.
Oh, I was really hoping.
Yeah.
For your collection?
Yeah, thank you.
So if we leave like a Mars wrapper or something, then 50 years nobody can touch it, right?
If you leave McDonald's French fries, they'll still be
Yeah,
there.
it will. A Twinkie.
It's a disciple moist.
It's not disciple moist, it's Burt's Beeswax. So it's close I can get right now.
In spite of being technological wonders of their time, traction engines were incredibly difficult to steer, and they would often require the assistance of the very mules they were designed to replace. It is for this reason that turns in the traction road were made with large radiuses, just like you see here, and much like you would see on a railroad.
about this particular stretch of trail is that it is completely rutted out. It's got washout after washout. It's like driving across the grain.
Just like the myriad of mountain ranges that you can find all across Nevada, there are just as many valleys to go with them, and maybe more times than not, you can be sure to find a playa or a dry lake bed at the bottom of them. Now, the reason why we decided to make this particular stop is to look for some of this.
Right there. This is what's known as selenite. It is a crystalline form of gypsum, and as you can see, it's everywhere.
Ninja Star.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. Look at that.
Here we are, stop number 1. Welcome to Idle Spurs.
If you ever find yourself out in the Sandy Valley, a stop at this fine watering hole, which has been around since 1960 and is open 24 hours a day, is something that I would highly recommend.
All right, kids, the Whiskey Wanderlust, and here we have the Idle Spurs. Cheers!
When in the Idle Spurs, do as the Idle Spurs do. And specifically, that would mean to partake in their 3 mystery shot challenge.
We're allowed to smell to see if we can guess what it is.
Mystery shot number 1. Cindy's votes for tequila. I was thinking it might be a young bourbon, but I think Cindy might be right.
Yeah.
Just based on the nose.
Mezcal.
You think it's mezcal?
Tequila.
What do you think? Tequila? Tequila. To mystery shot number 1. Cheers!
And the correct answer is...
Mike is the only one who got it right. He called Scotch, he's right.
Mystery shot number 2.
What do you think it is?
Well, it smells like tequila, but I said that before and I was wrong. But if I keep saying it, eventually I'll be right.
I'm going to agree with Clay this time.
Yeah.
I was wrong last time, but I think it's tequila.
Let's go with
Silver.
it.
I'm guessing tequila.
Hey, you know what? I like her. She's got double shots.
Tequila. What do you think, Jason?
It's tequila blanca, which means you blanca out after a few shots.
I don't care.
1 tequila, 2 tequila, 3 tequila, 4 down there.
Steph, what is it?
Water.
Tony, what is it?
Like water.
What are we drinking?
Okay.
All right, here we go. Cheers, you guys.
Gotta go
Down.
Cheers, folks.
Number 2.
arriba, abajo, al frente y adentro.
I'm not going to do it.
Whoa.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's tequila.
Ah, yeah.
Tequila silver, blanco.
Tequila it is.
Okay, we're on mystery shot number 3. We're gonna ask everybody what we're having.
Doesn't really smell like much, so I don't know. Might be a brandy of some type.
It's an apple pie brandy.
I'm going just a bourbon. Going like Evan Williams bourbon.
Okay, let's find out.
That smells kind of sweet, so I don't know.
That's another brandy. Let's see. What else?
It smells appley. I'm thinking it's like maybe the apple crown or something.
Maybe brandy? Oh,
Tony?
this is brandy for sure.
You sure?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It doesn't have much of an odor.
I think it's a cheap whiskey. I think she's right.
Okay, I gotta go smell it. Come on. You can see it's got this nice amber color, if not a little bit on the roasted side. Well, now there's a smell. It's good. I think I have to sneeze. I'm not 100% convinced that's brandy. It might be some kind of a whiskey. I'm not sure what, but let's find out.
We're going to find out.
Mystery shot number 3.
It is a whiskey.
Cheers!
Let's give him a cheeseburger. That definitely was a whiskey.
Last but not least,
Hey, wait. Yeah, go on the inside. So, Stephanie, why do saloons have these short half doors?
I have no idea.
She has no idea.
Why do they?
It's to allow ventilation into the saloon, but still hide the debauchery behind the doors.
Hey, say that word
So
again.
this is debauchery?
Debauchery. You're the debauchery. You need to do your little
Tell
burlesque.
Tony that. He's smiling.
What kind of debauchery you got
Like
going
that's
on
later
there?
on tonight.
You want to go on the other side of the door there?
if you haven't figured it out by now, the Whiskey Wanderlust is a serious trip for grown-ups, and juvenile shenanigans are not allowed.
Double tap!
This is the Wild West. All right, so that was fun, but we're off to our second stop on the Whiskey Wanderlust. And we had a good gunfight over at the Idle Spur Saloon. That was fun, wasn't it?
That was fun.
Yeah, that was a big one too. So this is Cathedral Canyon.
Inspired by an earthquake-damaged church he once saw in Guatemala, Roland Wiley, the owner of this property, began building an open-air cathedral in this small canyon. Complete with backlit stained glass and statues and tributes to saints carved into the canyon walls, the cathedral would take about 10 years to complete. But by 1972, it was open to the public, electrified with lights, and even had a sound system that anyone could turn on and enjoy with a simple flip of a switch. In its heyday, there was a 200-foot suspension bridge spanning the small canyon and a replica statue of Christ the Redeemer of the Andes standing within it as well. In fact, the statue can still be found here today, but sadly, it has since been reduced to a headless, limbless, and shot-up stump of a body.
This is a memorial to Kehoe.
Accused of dozens of murders and countless thefts back in the early 1900s, he was known as the last renegade Indian and for a time became synonymous with the boogeyman. By 1919, Kehoe had vanished, and it wouldn't be until 20 years later that his mummified remains would be found in a cave and near the Hoover Dam. After having his body paraded for years by the Elks Lodge, Wiley bought his remains and gave him a proper burial at the far end of this beautiful canyon. On the move again, we made our way across the wide open desert and to our third and final destination of the day. After getting a call on the radio, we decided to make a stop near the top of this pass to check on what might be a flat on Bob's Bronco.
Oh, you got sidewall damage. Right here.
No, big time.
Yeah.
It's like that with a rock.
There you go. I guess we're gonna have to do a tire change. I'm gonna grab the impact. Yeah. That soft jack one. There you go. Like a horse. All right, we got Bob all fixed up with his spare. Hopefully we can find another one in Beatty once we get out there. But I think we're good to go for at least now. Hopefully, we'll see. Wow, look at the view out there.
while we've been seeing wildflowers here and there for the better part of the day, they really started to explode, and in numbers, and blanket the hills as we made our way down into the valley. And here we are, steaks and beer. As unbelievable as it may sound, this place serves up one of the most amazing steaks you can have anywhere. And this, in spite of being out in the middle of nowhere.
And so there's no question about it. There are no vegan options. And vegetarians are bad hunters. Day 2 of the WAYALIFE Whiskey Wanderlust.
So, this is the route we were planning on taking, but...
So it's a little muddy, but not too, it doesn't go all the way down.
Okay.
I know it seems kind of silly, but man, I really hate getting muddy if I don't have to. And so we're going to try to work our way around on a parallel trail that may or may not be less muddy.
Got a lot of rain here for this still to be here.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, I guess some things in life are just unavoidable.
Man, it is gorgeous with all these wildflowers everywhere.
When it comes to desert wildflowers, there are never any guarantees that you'll get to see them, and more times than not, there are more years that are misses than are hits. But, as luck would have it for us, this year was a major hit, and what I might even call a super bloom.
This is amazing.
Back on the move again, we turned to the west and began a long, rubbly climb up the Funeral Mountains. Fortunately, there are multiple ways into Death Valley National Park, and coming from the east, this one is one of the more pretty, and I would even say, fun routes that you can take. After cresting the summit, we began our descent down into Echo Canyon. And while it's far from difficult, this is where the most technical part of the trail can be found, or what most people would call the most fun part.
Nice.
And here we are, our lunch stop for the day.
Fried chicken. Exactly what I needed on this trail run.
Back in 1905, gold was discovered here by Moroni Hicks and Chet Levitt, and by 1907, there were 3 vertical shafts and 755 feet of tunnel. At its peak, there was a blacksmith shop, boarding house, and even a general store, but by the fall of 1907, all production had stopped. Various attempts were made to resume production up until 1940, but in the end, World War II and a lack of water would bring it to an end.
Man, I can barely hear you. You know, so it's like muffled in there. Like, if you had like got lost in there, you could yell all you want. I doubt you could hear it. It's amazing. I think it caved in back there.
As we continued our way down the canyon, the walls of it narrowed, and it's here that we made yet another stop to enjoy this natural wonder known as the Eye of the Needle. Down in the valley floor, we made our way out to the most iconic destination you can visit in Death Valley, and it just so happens to be the lowest point you can stand here in North America, Badwater. In the 40 plus years that I have been visiting Death Valley, there have only been 3 other times when I've seen it filled with water and once again making it the ancient Lake Manly. For most, this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and I truly feel lucky to be able to experience it yet again and with good friends.
So Tracy, it is once in a lifetime. Are you gonna walk in it?
Sure, I'll do it.
Anybody else? This is once in a lifetime possibility. You gonna walk in it?
Sure, why not?
All right, I'm gonna do it too then. Going in. We are looking for a machine that was used on the very first length of trail that we started this whole Whiskey Wanderlust on, and it's called a traction engine.
And this is it, Old Dinah.
up until the 1890s to the early 20th century, wagon trains, just like what you see right here, were pulled by 20 mule teams. And somewhere along the line, miners decided that they needed to upgrade to the future. And they came out with this thing. This is called a traction engine. And although it was designed to replace the mules, a lot of times it was more trouble than it was worth.
That turn this.
That's crazy. Wow. Where's the operator?
No, I think the front end of
So, being that this is a Whiskey Wanderlust, you just had to know that this was coming. Welcome to the Badwater Saloon. With the sunlight fading from the sky, we decided to make our only whiskey stop for the day a short one, and to push on to our home for the night, where of course we could continue our fun in the comforts of our room and well into the night.
And the party continues on. Cheers!
We didn't say Whiskey Wanderlust.
Okay.
I just
Take two.
Yeah, exactly. You stay there. What is trailering motorcycles like?
Trailered in.
They're cheating. It's supposed to be you drive them from home and you drive them back, just like Jeeps.
It's actually like washing your Jeep in the middle of a trail run. That's what it is.
Did you get that?
And where's your Jeep?
He started.
Who's your clean Jeep, Wait. Whose Jeep is this?
I know.
I could swear we drove through some mud yesterday, and whose Jeep is this?
Look at the mud stains on here.
This is what we did come through and how a Jeep should be looking like.
But if you drive cautiously and you go around the mud puddles, you'll look like this.
Day 3 of the Whiskey Wanderlust.
I read it, but it was like 10 years ago when we were here before, but I can't remember. It was
That's
like,
a big pecker and that's a little pecker.
okay, that's the hidden meaning, I guess.
This is the Goldwell Open Air Museum here at Rhyolite. There's all kinds of crazy things, and as you can see, we're trying to find meaning in things like this.
And this is the sculpture that started it all, The Last Supper by Belgian artist Albert Zukalski. Since its creation in 1984, the museum has grown its collection of permanent pieces, and it now includes ones like this, the Lady Desert, Venus of Nevada, and made by another Belgian artist, Dr. Hugo Hiraman.
Tracy was just telling us that this fence is put here to keep the velociraptors in. So keep 10 feet away at all times and you'll be safe.
And you notice it's empty, so
Yeah.
look around.
Who are we sacrificing?
Carl!
Probably the guys with the clean Jeeps go first.
Look at that way.
Welcome to Rhyolite, downtown anyway.
Founded in 1904, soon after Shorty Harris and E.L. Cross discovered the Bullfrog Rock, a quartz-covered hill that was full of free gold, the town quickly grew in size to over 3,000 people and had everything you'd expect to find in a modern city. Sadly, the financial panic of 1907 would be the beginning of the end for Rhyolite, and by 1924, the last remaining resident died, making this once thriving city into an official ghost town. With a ton of miles ahead that we still needed to cover before our next destination of the day, it was time to get back in our rigs and continue our wanderlust to the north. There really aren't too many places in the lower 48 that you can experience the kind of vastness that you can find out here. And I have to say, it's pretty damn amazing.
All right, guys, I just went through a gate. Last person through, I'd be grateful if you could please close it.
Copy that. We'll make sure the gate gets closed. Last one closed.
So this is a whistle stop here. They used to have a well. So all the glass that you see here, it's all historic glass. So this is actually like 1941. So it's not super old. 1934, maybe 1907. Oh, so this is old enough not to even have a date on it.
Oh.
Look how thick the glass is too. Amazing.
Like many of the trails that we've been traversing from town to town, this is a historic one, and specifically one that used to be an old railroad. Of course, it's always fun to stop and explore the stops that the steam engines would have needed to make along the way, and it was a perfect time to give everyone a chance to cool off.
I got snuck up on. I'm dead.
Yeah, at least I got center mass. ruts and ruts. Sure is nice to be back on a fast section of trail. This is fun. Saloon stop for the day.
Originally called Line Point back in 1868 and then Horn Silver in 1905, the town would eventually be renamed Gold Point. And after a guy named J.W. Dunphy discovered a large deposit of gold back in 1927, and more of it was being mined than silver.
This is the place.
It's hard to imagine now, but at its peak, there were as many as 1,000 people living in this town, with over 225 wood frame buildings, and of course, 13 of them being saloons.
To Gold Point! Now this is what a saloon really should be like.
Thank you all.
Quick. Cheers.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you. Cheers.
I didn't do it! I didn't do it! Get out of jail free.
There really are a few places that I enjoy imbibing more than at the Gold Point Saloon, and I really have to thank Walt for making that possible. Welcome to our home for the night, the town of Tonopah and the Mizpah Hotel.
Tomorrow will be day 4 or 5. We don't know where we're at.
Ripley, what are you having? You having your Martian? You can have your Martian. Go ahead. So it's day 4 of the WAYALIFE Whiskey Wanderlust. Today we're doing quite a bit of highway miles because we have a lot of ground to cover, but we should be hitting dirt pretty soon.
I have to say, after spending the last 3 days driving across creosote, sage, and Joshua tree-covered desert, getting up into the mountains, pines, and even some snow was a welcome change in scenery. What wasn't so welcome was the fierce winds and significantly cooler temps that came with it.
This is the old mill site. It's actually the mill site that was established to process ore from the town we'll be visiting later on today up in those mountains.
While most people think Vegas when talking about Nevada, this is what comes to mind for me. Vast valleys surrounded by snow-covered mountain ranges, quite literally the Spanish definition for the word Nevada. Of course, add in an old ruin for character, and you'd have what I'd consider a picture-perfect image.
So we're stopping at this cool mine right here. The last time Cindy and I were here, there was some fuel stored in the mine shaft itself. I'm gonna go see if it's still there. No, they must have used it. There's other stuff though. Has one heavy door. Getting a little bit brushier. Within a year of being founded in 1866, there were 50 mines established in the area, and during its best years, there were as many as 950 claims being worked, and the richest of which produced more than $500,000 worth of gold and silver before it all came to an end in 1891. It's been a while since we've been here, and I can swear that this structure is leaning a lot more than I remember. It's crazy looking because you're straight and everything else isn't. Well, this certainly wouldn't be a whiskey wanderlust if we weren't on our way to a saloon, and I think right about now, there were more than a few of us who were feeling kind of thirsty. After a short drive along the extraterrestrial highway, we arrived at our main destination of the day. Here we are, the little alien. Woo, look at that. Famous for being close to the super top secret Area 51 and featured in movies such as ID4 and Paul and in TV shows like The X-Files, this is the one place, if any, that you'd have any chance of seeing a flying saucer or meeting a space alien in person. Awesome, shall we go in? Come on in, kids.
There's no recording in the building, please. Okay.
Unfortunately, the gal behind the counter wasn't really digging us filming inside their establishment, and so here are a few pictures of the fun we had.
He has soft skin, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So, being that we were in the neighborhood, this is it.
Let's put the drone up and see what happens.
That'd be a hard no.
Yeah, that would come with, I'm sure, a pretty nice penalty.
We are at the back gate of Area 51, and these guys mean business. You hear that? They're discouraging us. Okay. I assume that sound is to discourage our presence.
I think that's a good assumption.
That's the welcome bell.
Because all good things must come to an end, this would be our final home for the night on the WAYALIFE Whiskey Wanderlust.
Here we are, Overland Saloon in Pioche. When's the last time you seen one of these for hotel? To an awesome week out on the trail, drinking whiskey and vodka tonics and anything else that has alcohol. Cheers, you guys! To all our friends here on the Whiskey Wanderlust!
For some, an epic off-road trip is all about the destinations. For others, it's all about the journey getting there. For me, I'd have to say it's all about the friends that I get to share the experience of both with, and truly, that's what makes the WAYALIFE Whiskey Wanderlust so memorable and so much fun. Until next time, keep the shiny side up, all four on the floor, and with any luck, we'll see you on the trail.